So when the loop goes back to tcount equals 2, PV track is already regular payment divided by 1 plus R squared, right? When it's 3, it's going to be 3. Every period, it's going to go down by a factor of 1 plus R. So when I'm done with this loop, I already have the sum of the present value of each of those cash flows, okay? Sum of the present value of each of those cash flows multiplied with the number for the period. Remember, for Macaulay duration, we need to calculate that. T times PVT. Next, I'm going to handle the balloon payment case. Which means I_fins is not equal to 0. And the way we handle it, we're going to say if I_fins is not equal to 0, then, okay? This is a if block. Sometimes there could be things that we may do if there is, if that condition is not true. I'm going to say, what was that variable? Val. Oh, I haven't even declared them yet, but I will. Actually, let's do this. If it is equal to 0, val equal to 0, else val equals to I_face. Actually, I already have C over 1 plus R. Well, let's just do it explicitly. Alternatively, I could have used this. Let me put this. Next line is an alternative. But I'm going to leave it as a comment. I_fins, not I. Actually, let's just go ahead and do it straight that way. And here's the reason. By the time we're out of that loop, once we are out of the loop, PV track is actually equal to periodic payment that, okay? value of the balloon is final value. So if I multiply PV track by the final value divided by the periodic, I get that. That way I don't have to worry about ifs and or anything. Because if ifs is 0, by definition, the whole thing is 0. So let's do our declarations. Dim decount as long. That means long integer can take any value from negative 2 billion to positive 2 billion. If I said integer, there's a limit on that. It's about 32,000 something. Dim PV track as double. And we're going to declare another local variable for array stuff, because all declarations has to be done before there are executable stuff. Okay. Then my outs this simply tells Excel that that's a variable that's going to have more than one value. Then let's dimension I want this function to return values in one column. So I want this to have 3 rows and 1 column. And the way we do it, you say read them, my outs 1 to 1, 1 to 3. Or I'm sorry, 1 to 3, 1 to 1. 3 rows and 1 column. Now, okay. Let's update the value and cross sum for the final payment. Remember, value was in WellSum. Present value of all the periodic cash flows plus present value of the balloon. Okay. And cross sum plus since we get that balloon in the last period, that's equal to, the number of periods. Now we have the value of the entire cash flow and cross products of individual cash flows with the PV of individual cash flows. Now we can have things returned. On the first column, first row, I'm going to have the value. On the second column, first row, I'm going to have Macaulay duration, which is the ratio of the cross products to the value.